Meghan coming in hot on a Monday. Woo. We start the show talking about the impending impeachment because the article of impeachment is going to the Senate today, and what that means for Republicans, what its chances are of passing, and the potential rift in the Republican Party about following Trump or really separating either the politician or the party from him. And so you bring up the statistic that 60% of Republicans are still interested in following Trumpism, which creates a problem for the existing representatives and senators. Do they vote to part ways with Trump, potentially losing those constituents who want to remain loyal to him, or do they do the right thing and get rid of him? Trump throws out this threat that I'm gonna take these 60% away from you, and it doesn't matter if he, so don't vote against me. But he's going to do it whether they vote against him or not. And if they do vote to convict him, that eliminates his ability to run in 2024. And he's still going to drum up his cult and try to draw from the Republican Party. No matter what, he's going to be a detriment to the Republican Party. So you might as well do the right thing and keep him out of politics. But they're not. They'll do whatever they're going to do. Because I don't know that they're real brave. But you talk about the 60% of the Republican Party leaving for Trumpism and say, well, that's exactly what I just said. The Republican Party is going to do whatever it's going to do. Its fate is out of your hands, I guess. But Meghan, this is your lifelong committed, dear party that you have, just a week ago espoused that many of the party consider you an avatar for the group. This is like such a source of pride for you to be a conservative Republican, and you're so proud of your party and want to move the party forward, and everything is party politics, party with you, and the Republican Party is in this balance where there's a potential rift that would divide it, and you just say whatever. Why aren't you fighting for to keep your party somewhere in some semblance of a sane lane and go forward? But instead you just throw your hands in the air and you start complaining about the Democrats, and specifically Katie Couric was mean. Katie Couric, she can go to hell. Well, whatever. When Katie Couric talks about people being deprogrammed, she's not incorrect. The fact that you took it personally and said you don't need to be deprogrammed, it's like, hold on, maybe the people that need to be deprogrammed are usually the least aware that they do. I'm not saying that you're part of the cult, but you certainly aren't doing anything to dispel everything that encourages the cult. The lying and the misinformation, and you won't even you defended Ted Cruz last week. If you aren't willing to call out the lies and the manipulation and the sedition of your own party members, you say that the Democrats aren't coming for unity and that there's nothing. Where's your invitation into the big tent? You're not invited into the big tent if your entire basis is going to be about lies. You can't. We talk about not having unity without accountability. All of that bullshit that led to the terrorist attack at the Capitol, Hawley and Cruz and McCarthy and oh fuck, Madison fucking Caldwell. Like, those assholes need to be called out. You can't, if you're going to defend the blatant lies and the fomentation of anger and violence against the the very institutions that are trying to help those same people. If you're going to allow that and say that that's okay, there is no welcome to that party. There's no common playing field, because that's all based in lies. If you're not going to stand up against those lies, then no, we aren't coming to the table with you. There has to be a solid foundation of, yes, we are going to accept these facts as true. And if you can't accept actual facts as true, or defend actual facts as true, or stand up against the ones who continue to lie, trading in on the ignorance of their constituents and feeding it, then no, there isn't any unity. And that's the biggest problem. I don't give a shit if the Republican Party splinters into 2 or 3 or whatever amount, however many little faction groups it wants. But until we start standing up to that, until we start re-educating, which is really the process of deprogramming people who have believed these ridiculous lies that have been told to them by people in power in your party, and until people like you who have influence, right, over the party start to call that out and make sure that they say that your constituents, you're not an elected leader, your party base understands what the actual truth is, and you can contribute to that. You don't, you and your husband's stupid publication that continue to perpetuate all of these lies. We're never going to get to a place of peace in this country. Those fuckers who helped lead this uprising, right? That trade in on the misinformation and the ignorance of their own constituents. They're not interested in educating them or backing an education system that's going to increase critical thought. Keeping them dumb is what keeps them in power. And you keeping silent about them lying keeps them dumb. So until you're willing to do something to fix your broken party, don't come fucking up to the Democrats and say, this is what's wrong with you. It's not going to fly.